Welcome, sports fans, to another episode of PlayitRight TV. And today, we have someone very special. Someone who's just come off injury, someone who's come off surgery, and also someone who's fresh from playing in Serbia as the first ever Filipino import. And she's none other than Jack Animam. And we are also here with Patty Scott of East West Private, who takes care of Jack, and a surprise guest, Coach Pat Aquino of the Philippine women's basketball team, the defending Southeast Asian Games gold medalist and champion in both 5-on-5 and 3-on-3. This is Quinito, Henson, and I'm here with Dyan Castillejo. And Dyan, maybe we can ask our guests to say their opening statements.
Welcome, guys. Welcome to PlayitRight TV. Hey, Jack, Pat, and Patty. Jack, kumusta? How are you?
Okay lang po. I'm doing great with my rehab, and I'm just so excited every day, getting better and stronger.
Okay. Patty, maybe an opening statement from you?
Yes. Thank you so much for having us. We really love you, Quinito, and obviously Dyan. You've been such a supporter of Jack, and we really wanted to take this. This is the first exclusive interview since Jack has come back from Serbia, as well as we wanted to be able to share exactly what had happened. There's been a lot of speculation and a lot of comments out on social media, and we just wanted to really share exactly what had gone on, and really more importantly, share exactly what Jack just went through with regards to the surgery, and what the way forward is going to be with regards to that. So thank you so much.
Well, thank you, Patty.
Nice.
And Dyan, we've got Coach Pat Aquino with us too.
Yeah. Hi, Dyan. Hi, Quinito. Thank you for
Hi,
the
Coach
invite.
Pat.
Thank you for having me here. It's a great honor to be here with Jack and Patty also. Hi.
Okay, I have to ask you this first question, Coach
Thanks for
Pat.
taking the time.
Yeah, when was the last time you actually saw Jack? You must miss her a lot.
Yes, I did. Yes, I do. I mean, I really miss her. The last time I saw her was when I left
May.
I think May.
May
In last year, when I left her in Cincinnati with Patty. And, we had this FIBA Asia Cup last September. So I've been missing her. And now that she's undergoing rehab now and might not be able to join the Southeast Asian game. So that'll be a big zero again, donut for us coming into the Southeast Asian game. But I hope she gets well soon and be prepared for more international game coming up.
Okay. Jack, talking about your injury, you played 7 games in Serbia. You averaged, I have your stats here, 20 points a game, 14.3 rebounds,
Awesome.
2.9 assists, 1.7 steals, 1.9 block shots. You shot 69% from the field. I mean, those are awesome stats by any standard. Then something happened. I understand you were going up for a layup and you got bumped by a teammate. Tell us exactly what happened that led to your injury.
It was during warm-up. We had this deal like one-on-one. So I was on the offense. So when I hopped and then I bumped to my teammate, my left foot didn't, it slipped, and then my knee just went straight.
And then you went down.
Was this in practice or before a game?
Before it was during the warm-up, before the game.
Okay, and then what happened? So you went down. Were you carried out of the court? Were you brought to the hospital? And what was the diagnosis?
After I went down, they helped me to get up. I was able to walk on my own, and then I just sat on the bench, and then there was a physical therapist. He checked my knee, and he said there was a little bit instability, so better to do an MRI to really confirm what it is.
This was the left
Left.
knee? The
Yeah.
left knee. Okay,
Mhm.
so after that, what did the doctor say? Did they want to operate in Serbia? What were your
Well,
options?
I waited for like a week before I had my MRI because it was swelling so big. Like it was big. Like
Oh.
after I went down, it just swelled right away. And then I had to
Ooh.
wait for a week to let the swelling goes down because when you do that, when you're swelling in the MRI, you can't really see it clearly. So they had to let the swell goes down. And then after that, like an hour after I had my MRI, the result came and they told me my ACL fully tear and my MCL and then also my meniscus. So I was like,
Oh.
what? Because when
So,
it happened, when I fell down, there's no pop at all. Like there's no pop at all. I had teammates. I saw them like had ACL. Like there was this like a gunshot, like pop, like a loud pop you hear when you tore. But mine,
Mm.
there's like nothing. I just went down like
pero
that.
ano
So,
pakiramdam mo, Jack? Did
so
you feel that you had strength in your knee? Wala talaga.
I had the strength. I had my strength in my knee, but they asked me if I can play. I wanted to, but I listened to my body and I said, no, I don't want to risk it. It's better to, sit this one out and just make sure everything's right. And then yeah.
And so I would like to say once she had the MRI, because we were thinking the worst, obviously, based on what the team was assessing with ACL, MCL, meniscus. But when the reports were finally sent over, we obviously have an amazing orthopedics group here in Ohio that a lot of pro athletes, both baseball, basketball, they actually fly here to this particular orthopedics group to actually be rehabbed. All the pros, they have pro standards. And when they got the actual X or the MRIs, it was kind of they read it very differently. They're like, well, here's the issue. We really need to get her back here
Mm.
because we don't see an MCL tear. We don't see meniscus. We just see ACL. So there was a lot of misinformation at that point. And obviously technology probably has a lot to do with it as well. So we immediately scheduled to have her come back, picked her up from the airport, and then within days got her to the orthopedic group. Jack felt like a VIP. I will have to say, they treated her like a real pro player. She had about 5 different doctors on top of her and nurses, and the assessments. Of course, Coach Dante was there with her, and they really took a lot of time to assess the situation. And the good news is when it came back, they were like, well, we can't obviously tell for sure until we get in on surgery day, but we're pretty for sure it's just the ACL. But they have a very different approach. They really wanted her to rehab before surgery because they've had a lot of success with the pros to rehab before surgery, get the swelling down, and also get the flexibility and movement going, which actually very much helps the rehab process after surgery. They also have a very high standard. Most ACLs typically anywhere are repaired with hamstrings. And they have a very high standard of doing the patella tendon. And so they wanted to make sure that they could graft and take the time to appropriately do that. So it was just, I think Jack has seen from, and I'll let her speak to that, but from the pre-surgery to the pre-rehab to the day of surgery, to already seeing the doctor immediately a couple days after surgery and then jumping right into rehab, I think people would be completely amazed at how well she's doing and how quick. And I'll let Jack speak to that on how shocked she even is with regards to her rehab.
Wow, Dyan, this is a
That's good. That's good news.
innovative process.
It is. Actually, we've
Yeah,
also
I
asked
wanted
the
to.
doctor, we've asked the ortho if at some point in time he would be happy to come on and share, with Jack's permission, the pictures, the video from the surgery, and how and why they're so innovative with regards to the pro athletes. So at maybe at a further follow up, we can have the doctors on.
That would be wonderful. Dyan, you had a question?
Yeah, no, I mean for a pro athlete for sure, just having competent and really world class doctors on top of you means the world, because the timeout is, as you know, like the most horrible thing for an athlete. So thank you for doing that. So I just wanted to clarify, in when they did the MRI, they initially said it was a torn ACL and MCL,
And
but
meniscus.
now you're saying that when the doctor looked closer, it's just a pulled ACL or torn ACL.
It's torn, fully torn ACL, and there's just a slight tear on my meniscus. So they just
It took one stitch. They actually
they
weren't
had
even
to
going
put
to
one
do
stitch
it,
on my meniscus.
but they did one stitch on the meniscus just to be safe. But they regrafted her entire ACL.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay.
Can you tell us the timetable? How many weeks of pre-surgery rehab did you do before the surgery? And then when the surgery happened, how long ago was that? And how long was the surgery? Was it a long surgery?
Actually, I think I done pre-rehab for 2 weeks, and then my first day on rehab, before I got into rehab, I was walking funny like a zombie. I was limping. I couldn't even straight or flex my knee. But like after one day of rehab, I was like, wow, it felt weird. Like after a month, like I can finally straighten my knee and bend it. Like it's crazy. And then yeah, I've done pre-rehab for 2 weeks, and then I had my surgery last January 12th. And then after 4 days, I had my first checkup. And then the doctor told me like
It was after 2 days. You were just a little loony.
oh, yeah, yeah, 2 days. Yeah, it was 2 days.
She
And
thought
then
it was 4.
the doctor told me like, okay, you can start rehabbing by Monday. It was Friday when I went to see the doctor, and then he said you can start doing rehab on Monday. And then right from there, I was like, okay, like.
And she
That's
didn't
really good
realize
news.
this, but on the day of the surgery, when the doctors came out, she was still in the recovery room. You know, the ortho, the surgeon and the doctor, the team was entirely there. He came out and he was like, oh my gosh, this is way easier than we expected. And he said, this is why we rehab before surgery, because everything was perfectly in place. Which was going to obviously make her recovery a lot, quicker, but also more efficient, because they could immediately, like on Friday, he looked at her and he said, can you move your hamstring? And she was kind of like, I don't know. And so they didn't expect her to be able to move the hamstring that day and wake it up, but she was already on the table moving her hamstring.
That's unbelievable.
It was unbelievable. She woke it up like right there on the table. She was shocked, I think, even. And then he was basically like, okay, you can shower, these little stitch. I don't even think she's going to have scars after it's all, they're itty bitty, like little, just tiny little holes, to be honest. The technology is amazing.
Was it an arthroscopic surgery?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then,
how long did it take? How long did the surgery take?
I will let the doctor speak to that, but I believe the actual surgery itself was roughly maybe around 50 minutes.
Like maybe an hour and 30, I think.
Yeah. It wasn't from beginning to end.
Well, that's good. That's super good news. Super good news. So initially you thought you were going to be out for like 6 months usually, diba? So what's the prognosis now? Like,
well, initially we thought a year.
A year.
Wow.
Well, that's when she was in Serbia, that's it was when you're thinking meniscus, MCL, ACL. I mean, you're talking a year of rehab.
Wow.
But obviously that wasn't the
So what's it
case.
looking now?
You know,
What are the doctors saying now,
as
Jack?
the doctor has said, you know, he wants Jack to take one day at a time because he doesn't want re-injury, which he's, you know, we're for
Right.
sure it's not.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think it all depends on Jack, right? There've been, I mean, they've had a couple soccer players recently and that had both ACL and MCL, and they returned back to the field in 4 months. But you know, it's I think it's Jack's body, right? Like Jack will know with her doctors like when that time is.
Okay, now I want to ask Coach Pat.
That's good. That's great. Yeah.
Yeah, what's your reaction to to all of these stories? We don't know exactly when Jack will be back. The Southeast Asian Games will be in May, so we're counting February, March, April, May, maybe on the 4th month. She could be ready. What do you think, Coach Pat? And what's your advice to Jack? And
well, at first, you know, at first I was saddened about the injury, of course. You know, all the things like the Southeast Asian Games, and now we're being invited for the first time for the Asian Games. So I just told her, you know, just get well soon. Hope you recover with this. I'm not pressuring you to come back early. You know, I know it's better to, you know, rehab fully, recover, and play more extended time with the Gilas, and your profession definitely is a very big factor here. It's not just the Southeast Asian. Oh, she can play more than the Southeast Asian Games in the future. So just telling her, you know, we'll just stay cool and work hard, and you know, and be more. You know, when you come back from this, you'll be better. You know, much better than before.
And I would like to say too, and Jack's aware of this. We've kept this kind of quiet, but it speaks to the fact of how she utilized the time in Serbia well. You know, we always say, don't waste time. You never know when that's your last game, right?
Yeah.
And she made the most of her 7 games. And let me tell you, it has rung worldwide. Before the injury, she had multiple other offers in Europe to move up. After the injury, the offers continue to come in.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. And so
That's great.
she's realizing that, and quite honestly, the teams, you know, they know. I mean, you know, they realize that it's where she's at, where she's going to be. But more importantly, they saw her performance, right? And they know she'll be even stronger when she comes back. According to Coach Dante, what's he going to do with your shooting, Jack, while you're off?
She's gonna day and night.
He said he's going to turn her into 3-point shooting, Pat.
Whoa! Okay. On that point, Jack, I looked at your stats. You never took a single 3-point shot in 7 games in Serbia. But now I'm hearing that Coach Dante Harlan is going to turn you into a 3-point threat. How exciting is that?
Now that we have to
Coach Pat, I want to ask you, can Jack Animam be a 3-point threat in the future? What do you think?
Coach Pat, alam niya yan sa 3.
well, she's been showing me a lot of shooting from the outside when she was in Serbia. So so she's been practicing, and that would be another big arsenal for her if she can shoot from the outside, especially when you're playing internationally. So, but you know, I still want her to be down there, you know, at the post. So she's the most effective post player I have right now.
Well, you know, Jack, your stint in Serbia was just amazing.
Amazing.
Anytime someone shoots 69% from the field. Although I have to point out, you shot 45.3% from the free throw line. Um, hmm.
Mm.
It's very strange
Yeah.
when a player shoots a higher percentage from the field than from the free throw line. Tell us about what you need to do to improve your free throw shooting.
I guess it's all in my mind ever since, like, it's really my routine. And like when I go there on the lane, like, I was like, I have so many things going on in my mind. So I think I have to block all those noise and just focus on me, the ring, and the ball, and do my routine.
Yeah, no, I was really amazed by your stats in Serbia, and having done that with a lot of areas to improve, but still a lot of reasons to celebrate. As Patty said, nga, ang dami mong offer, di ba? So, what can you say about your performance there? Like how well you performed, and now uh, getting injured like this. Ano yung mindset mo ngayon para sa pagbabalik mo?
I mean, my mindset right now is that, I'll take one day at a time, slowly but surely. But my mind is I'm still focused on the bigger picture, and I'm gonna come back stronger than I ever was before. Sabi nga nila, a minor setback for greater things ahead. So I'm just really
Yeah.
looking situation like the silver lining of this. Maybe it's like this is the time to heal, that I have more time to heal, more time to prepare, more time to improve on the areas where I'm still, lacking. And I'm just excited in this journey, and I can't wait. I'm really looking forward.
Well,
Yeah.
Diane, she's
Well,
only
Patty, thanks
23
for
years
getting the
old.
best team on top of her. Yeah. No, it means the career of an athlete to be able to have a good
It
rehab team and orthopedic team to get you back. Cause a lot of injuries can, if you don't do it right, it could actually
Yeah,
really
and your
mess
career.
your
yeah.
career. And she's off to such a good start. So thank you so much for doing that. Can you
Yeah.
tell us on a daily basis, like I've never heard of doing 2 weeks of rehab, prehab before a surgery. So can you tell us like what were some of the things that they make you do, and then what are you doing now on a daily basis to post
Well,
surgery?
first thing, the most important thing is to regain my flexion and my extension, my mobility on my knee, to be able to straighten it and bend it. That's the main thing. And then next, make my hamstring and quad, especially the quad, come back. Because right after I torn my ACL or my injury, like after a week, or not just a week, like 2 days after that injury, my quad completely shut down. Like my muscle went to sleep, right? Like that. So
Oh,
I had to make it stronger, and then to be able to bring back my mobility, my 100% mobility. So that's the main thing I had to really work on. And now after the surgery, of course, with the surgery done, the anesthesia and everything, so my muscle went to sleep back for a while, and then I had to wake it up again. But now it's much easier because I had done it before, and I have better range right now because I done the
okay.
rehab. I had the pre-rehab.
Great. Would be so interesting to talk to the doctors, no, Quinito, because
Yeah,
that's something
surely.
that we really need here in the Philippines. I mean, especially with, so you're actually in Cincinnati
Yeah.
in Ohio.
Mhm.
Okay. And you're gonna be there throughout the rehab until you get back to your game. Is that the
Yeah.
plan?
Yeah.
Okay,
So Coach
Jack.
Pat, paano yan? Yung plano nyo for the SEA Games, you don't know. Of course, you have to move forward, di
He's
ba?
gonna come see
How,
her in
whether,
March.
okay. Is that,
Okay, moral support. But
Coach,
Jack,
What's the
you.
plan of the team, Coach Pat?
Well, I'm going to the States this coming March and talk to the other
Oh,
Finland players that I've talked to already, and hopefully I get their support in coming here to the Philippines and play for us in the Southeast Asian Games. And I'm gonna visit Jack, and me and Film Nation with Coach Chris Copes is having a tryout for the under 16 and under 18 girls because there's gonna be a um, um, tournament for them this coming year. This coming June, there'll be an under 16, and then in September there's going to be an under 18. So it's a start of a program that me and Coach Chris with Film Nation is doing right now to recruit film players. As much as the age of before the age of
nice.
16, so that they can definitely play for FIBA tournaments, not just the Southeast Asian Games or the Asian Games, but for FIBA tournaments. And it's a great fit for me that having those prospect players from the States coming here, and very excited to come here and play for us.
well, one of your prospect players, Coach Pat, is someone with my last name. I'm excited to watch her play. Mylon Henson from the University of Washington. Now, is she a go for the Southeast Asian Games?
Yeah, well, I have to figure out more of the scheduling, just the scheduling right now. She's still playing in France.
Okay.
So I think she's going to be done by February or March. So it's time that we talk. So a little bit of discussion with her and her family. And then I think she's very excited. Her family is very excited, especially her mom, which is a Filipina. So she's very excited about her daughter playing here in the Philippines, and there's a lot more like more film players right now are really asking me how they can play for the Philippines, and just like I just told them, just get a Philippine passport, and
Yeah.
let's go forward after that.
And,
We
and
And
actually
just
introduced Coach Pat. He got to see in the gym Layla.
yeah,
He was really shocked. Layla's been she plays for the University of Michigan. She's actually tearing it up. She's a freshman in the face of Michigan now. She was one of Coach Dante's
Mm.
players, and when he was bringing Jack in, he was like, "Layla's here."
yeah, I
So
was
he got to meet Layla, and yeah, Coach Dante has a few people that he might be able to scramble over there as well.
so that's
yeah.
Layla. What is her
That's
last
Leila
name?
great.
Playa.
Pereira?
Leila Playa. Pilia.
Amelia.
Pilia. Pilia.
Apilia. Okay.
Phelia. Pilia.
Okay,
Okay.
she's
So
Okay.
also half Filipino.
she's playing freshman's ball at the University of Michigan.
Mm-hmm.
And I talked to her last March when I was there with Jack. Last April when I met her when I was with Jack in Cincinnati, and she's very excited to play for the national team too. So I think Patty's helping her out and getting her the Philippine passport. So hopefully, she'll be one of the players that I could bring here and to play for here in the Philippines.
I was gonna ask about the Southeast Asian Games. How are you preparing for it? With or without Jack, and of course, you guys are you're the defending gold medalist, diba? How difficult is it gonna be to defend with or without Jack, and based on the other people you're gonna get? And are you guys? Do you have what's the plan for the restart of training leading up to? Because that's in May 12, right? In Vietnam.
Yeah, actually, it's really very hard right now, especially now that the pandemic, surge up again. We're supposed to start last
Yeah.
January 5th, and now it's like it's gonna move to February. So and even but for the meantime, we're doing some Zoom workouts already for the girls
Mm.
every day, and hopefully with the quick workout with them, at least when we see each other in February, uh, we'll have a more, it's not going to be a restart, but, just trying to continue what they're doing right now, and maybe before May, or we'll have a bubble again probably, so that the other Philippine players will come in. I'll be like having them set up in a one whole environment, and
Right.
we'll maybe practicing maybe twice a day like we did when we went to FIBA last time in September. So it's a much better uh, uh, workout for them, and I think and safer definitely.
And the good thing about the SEA Games lineup and eligibility, Coach Pat, is that all you need is a Philippine passport. It doesn't
Yeah.
matter how old you are when you got that passport. So,
Yes.
so long as you have Filipino lineage, you can play. Okay, my next question is, what about the naturalized player? I wanted to surprise you, Coach Pat, because I actually asked if we could bring on this show Imani McGee, who is a sister of JaVale McGee, who now plays for the Phoenix Suns. She's 6'7". She's only 27 years old. And Patty, I heard that Imani is eager and excited to play for the Philippines. Is that true? And
That's
what are the chances?
really true. She is begging to play next to Jack.
Wow.
Wow.
That would
Okay.
be so. That would be so
That's a
cool.
great
But
news. I mean, yeah, that's a great news, Quinito. I mean, I've really been wanting to have a naturalized player, definitely, especially when we go up against the mighty China, the Japanese, the Koreans, Australia. They have all the big players, the name players they call it. But being with them and playing with them for the past probably three FIBA Asia Cups already, and I know in the future with the program that we're building right now, I think we'll be right there with them, and not just playing with them, but we've been competing, and that's what we want: compete with them, and be known to the world that the Philippines is really a basketball praised country, and hopefully that happens soon.
men and women, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Not just
you're
men,
going
but
to the
women also.
States. Yeah, you're going to the States in March, and maybe Patty can hook you up with Imani, and maybe something can happen. Jack, you've sort of played with Imani. What can you say about Imani McGee? And do you think she'll be able to fit into our Filipino style of play?
Oh my god, I think she's gonna be the best fit for our team.
Oh, all
Yeah,
right.
with her skills, leadership. She's also tall, has a shooting wise. She has it. I think she's best fit for Coach Pat's system. So why not? Diba? Let's make it happen if we could.
Nice.
Yeah, that would be
What's the
nice.
naturalization process like? How long does that take, you think? Matagal yun, di ba? That takes a while,
Yeah, I think that takes a while.
Coach
Like
Pat.
it takes going to the Congress again, having them approved by Congress and passing the bill for the naturalization of the player. It takes time, especially Congress starts next year, probably next year. This coming after May election now. So
Right, yeah. They they
so
they got back to session now, but
yeah,
my understanding is that it'll take about 3 months. Remember,
Oh,
we
not
have
bad.
we have a lot of good allies in both the Senate and Congress. Well, it also
That's
depends on
true. That's
who's going to
true.
win the elections. But we've got Congressman Robbie Puno, we've got Senator Sunny Angara. All of those guys are going to make sure that something like this passes. But it's important that Imani is in the Philippines because I think that's a requirement. If I'm not mistaken, Andre
Mm,
Blatch and Marcus Douthit
blush.
had to present themselves before the Senate and Congress so that they could be seen personally. So Imani might have to be prepared to come over and introduce herself to Congress and the Senate. But I don't think that should be a problem. She wants to play for the Philippines. Patty, she's going to be more than welcome by the Filipino fans.
Yes.
Yeah, we were going to talk about your rehab sketch. when exactly are you going to be back on the court, holding the basketball, shooting your 3-pointers? When exactly is that going to happen?
Well, right now the goal is to, move my knee without pain. And I had the restriction for bending right now. So my goal is to 90 degrees because of my meniscus. The doctor said, give it a time to heal first. And then I will have my follow-up checkup again on the 14th February. So I will know by then what's gonna, what's the schedule gonna look like.
Coach Pat,
March, April, May.
Valentine's Day, Jack will find out about when she can
We'll
go
be
back
giving
on the
Dr.
court.
Love.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dr. Love. But Coach Pat, Diane asked earlier about your plans with or without Jack. Jack was part of our champion 5-on-5 team and the 3-on-3 team in the Southeast Asian Games. She got 2 gold medals from the last Southeast Asian Games. Congratulations, Jack. But now, assuming she's not going to be able to be 100%, and nobody wants to force her because Asian Games is coming in September. Maybe she'll be okay for then. But, there's a possibility, who knows, a miracle could
Yeah.
happen. And she'll be declared by the doctors as ready for May. Coach Pat, how do you design a program with this contingency that Jack might play, Jack might not be able to play? It's a little tough, it's a little touchy, but you've got
Yeah.
some films coming in, and then you still have April, you still have your veterans who did so well in the last Asia Cup. We retained our place in level 1.
Yeah, it's gonna be very hard, working out without Jack, definitely. But we have to improvise, like getting players with that different position. Like, I could move around Afriel from forward to guard, and I know if Mylon is coming in, I could move her from center to forward. Definitely with the basketball approach right now, with like the Toronto Raptors, they're having this they call it uh, nameless position, and they
Yes.
we'll try
Positionless.
positionless, so that we could move around players, and from that point of practice, like make different approach with the players, that they have to play this way, they have to play guard or off guard, or forward, even though that they're not the regular position. So it's kind of hard, introducing to that system. But definitely, you still have time, and and it's much more siguro. It's if we bring early the Philams coming here early, it would be more
Yeah, that would be
cohesive
good.
for them to That's why I was really planning, when they come here, maybe 2 weeks before we leave Vietnam, we'll be doing a bubble thing like what we did in FIBA. We'll have them together in one group, in a hotel or something. But we'll just go practice, hotel practice again, and then back to the hotel. So I think it's more uh, progressive, doing that than just staying here in Manila, having one practice, and then go back, and then a lot of things happening here in Manila. So
Coach
even
Pat, how
though
many
Yeah.
films? How many films are you thinking of bringing over?
I think there are three already have committed in playing already.
Okay, that's
Three
Bambrick,
people.
3.
Berberabe,
Malia
and
Bambrick,
Henson.
Berberabe, and Myloni Henson. So I'm just waiting for Leila.
Whoa!
And
and
and I
and,
think Coach Pat.
and also one more girl, Kiara Okari. She's about
Okui.
6 feet girl from San Diego State. So, but she's been planning to do her graduate school after this season. So we'll still, I want to talk to her more so that I can convince her to come over also.
Nice.
And I think Coach Pat, by the
Patty, I
time
wanted
na
to.
mag-Asian game tayo, because the doctor already told me that by September, or when if ever the Asian game, I think I'm ready by that time to commit. So
Wow, the Asian Games.
Yeah, and
Martin,
excited na si
when was
Jack
the
for
last
the
time the
Asian
Philippines?
Games. Looking
Yeah.
forward.
When was the last time the Philippines played women's basketball at the Asian Games? Medyo
I think
matagal-tagal na
Yeah.
yata.
Well,
no, I don't think so. This is the first time, Quinito.
yeah.
Oh,
This is the
first
first time
time. That's it. That's
it's
it.
the first time we've been
We never
invited to
played.
the Asian Games. The
Asian
last time I was
Pat,
really
have a goal of bringing Jack Animam in September.
Wow. And Imani. Yeah, that would be wonderful.
That would be good.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I know, Quinito, this was the first time that we've been invited to play for the Asian Games, and
that's great.
just really excited, and
So it's never happened before. We've never played women's basketball in the Asian Games. Wow, this will be the first time. This is amazing. You gotta get Imani
It's
there.
been a while.
Patty,
Yeah.
Patty, we need you.
My final question is for Jack. Like, I know you're looking forward to maybe playing the SEA Games, but of course the Asian Games. And then, what's the plan? Are you gonna go back to Serbia and play there again, or?
We're not committing. I mean, she has obviously an offer to go back to Serbia. They would love to have her there.
Mhm.
She actually has offers in, I will say, all parts of the world.
Wow, galing.
Which ones? Which
Every-
countries?
she
Which countries?
has offers in the EuroLeague. She has offers in Italy, Spain, Germany, Australia.
Wow, God, that's awesome. That's awesome to hear.
So off season will always the international season will always she will always have that home. Obviously, she's still focused on the WNBA. So it'll be interesting. We'll have to take one day at a time to determine what we do with the draft here this year, and what the teams want to do. Some teams, even though she's injury, they take it based on her performance in Serbia, and they'll be like, well, you're already this far through, rehab, and we see blah, blah. I mean, it just depends. Every team is different. But Jack, you want to tell him what you're doing as far as studying the games and being prepared to be able to do interviews?
Yeah, I mean, I'm starting to, watch every WNBA teams, their games, starting to study their roster, the coaching staff, and everyone, so that I'm, come the time I'm ready, and to see which team I'm best fit suits with me. So I'm just getting myself ready.
Oh, we're so excited when that
Fantastic.
happens.
Exciting. That should give you a lot of motivation for your daily rehab as you go through the process of getting back
Yes,
strong
I
and back on
always
the
believe
court.
that
That's so
everything
nice.
happens for a reason. The may if you think that you planned it all out for yourself, but God's gonna make you go a little detour, and that detour is gonna be the best thing that ever happened to you. So I'm just so excited and really looking forward to this journey.
It's so nice, Dyan,
Great
because
outlook.
yeah, Jack exudes such a positive vibe. In spite of her injury,
Yeah.
in spite of her layoff, she's so positive and she's so optimistic about the future. And Patty, we have you to thank for that, for taking care of her, and
Yes,
for making her,
definitely.
for
Well,
making her
Pat,
feel
Great support
wanted.
system.
it's not just me. We have Dante. We have Tita Chow.
Mhm.
Has family here. Tita Cindy. Like, she's got. I will tell you, Coach Pat and many, many others check in on her on a daily basis.
Oh,
She gets love from all around. Like, even this is so funny, but it's true. Like, I go to drop her off from rehab, and the maintenance people are outside, like, carrying stuff in, and they're opening
Oh, that's so
doors.
sweet. They must be Filipino or no?
She's become like the mayor of the apartment complex. I don't know. They're all like cheering her on, bringing her
That's
delivery.
so nice to hear. It's so
Yeah.
nice to hear. Whatever your situation, I'm reminded, whatever your situation, always try to be a bright light. That's great, Jack. Keep going. We're here for you 100%. And thank you again, Patty, for just being so supportive and giving her a great team. I know that that means a lot to an athlete. And Coach Pat, all the best. We'll be watching out for your power team.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jack. Thank you, Patty, and thank you, Coach Pat.
One other
Patty,
thing
you were saying something?
here that has been extremely important that like Kai and other players have just been so amazing with reaching out to Jack and lifting her up, and it's just so wonderful to see the love, right, from all Filipinos, but especially your counterparts, like checking in on you.
Nice. That's nice.
The families, just the families of Kai and just from all over, right? They just really care about her, and the impact she made in Serbia, because how often, Jack, does your Serbia family reach out?
I think almost every day. Even our director, the director of our club, he always messaged me, "How are you? How's your leg? How are you doing?" Like every day.
Every day.
Oh my gosh, that's so nice.
They want you back. They want you back.
Yeah.
And then they kind of already like telling me what's their plan for next season. Like if ever I'm healthy and ready to play, their doors are open for me if I want to come back. Yeah.
Oh, Patty,
That's fantastic.
That means a new contract. So
we have a lot of those to filter through.
No, before we say
I'm sure Coach Pat will want to have a little bit of say in that too, maybe.
Yeah, true. Well, before Diane and I say goodbye, we ask just for final words. First from Coach Pat.
Yeah, I would like to say again, thank you for having me here. Just want to say to Jack that keep working hard, keep positive. I know you could go through this strongly, and hopefully you get well soon. And I would like to say thank you to Patty so much for taking care of Jack, and not just Patty, but Tita Chow and all those people behind them. And you just hope that the national team would be still would really go for it for the gold this coming May, and hopefully everybody supports us. And I'd like to thank SBP for being at our back all the time, Sir Al Pandillo, Ryan Gregorio, Sir Sunny Barrios, and Butch Antonio, for doing all their best to keep in touch with us.
Thank you, Coach Pat. And Patty?
I'm so grateful that we're able to provide such an amazing medical staff to Jack and any and all athletes that might need them in the future. But I really can't wait for the world to see Jack's story. She's documenting every single day on exactly what's going on, videoing, talking. And I really think she is going to be such an inspiration to every athlete, male, female, doesn't matter. The way her attitude has been with regards to this and how she's going to come back even bigger and greater is really the real story, and such an inspiration that will leave an impact on so many people's lives. Mental health right now is kind of that hidden, silent, nobody wants to admit or talk about it, and injury is at the top of it. And Jack has literally never once throughout the entire process been negative or scared or fearful. She's just been so amazingly mature and saying, with every opportunity and every door that goes in front of me, like, I'm going to make it a success. Like she just has the mindset that is unstoppable. And we can all learn from that, even if we're not professional athletes.
Awesome. Yes.
Thanks, Patty. And Jack, your final words?
Very inspiring.
Of course, I want to thank my EWP family, Tita Patty, Coach Dante, Tita Chow. and to my bosses, my manager, SM Sir Herson, Boss Mike Lim, and to my Gilas and NU family, Coach Pat, thank you so much. Without my, I mean, they're the ones who gave me, you know, strength, especially my family. I miss them so much. I miss everyone back home, and I just want to thank UC Westchester, my surgeon, my PT, Dr. Branham, Dr. Daly, and PT Lauren. They're really taking good care of me, and I'm just so grateful that I have them with me through this journey, and especially God. You know, I mean, without him, all this, I am nothing. And it's not gonna be always perfect. You know, you have to go through some, there's gonna be bumps, but those bumps gonna make you even more stronger, not just physically but also mentally. Yeah. Thank you, and
Thank
thank you
you.
also
Thank
for
you.
having
Beautiful.
me here.
Thank you. Dyan, some final words from you?
Well, beautiful. I was just gonna say, Jack, you, as Patty said, you've inspired not just athletes but all people. You're a champion inside and outside the court. And again, Coach Pat, thank you for your hard work. Looking forward to your team. And Patty, we love you. Thank you for everything you're doing for all the Filipino athletes out there. See you again next time. We hope, I know it won't be the last time that we'll have you on PlayitRight TV.
Thanks
For
again,
sure.
you
Thank you
guys.
guys
Thank
so
you.
much.
Thank you,
Thank
Paul.
you.
Thank you, Sir.
Thanks,
Next time
guys.
we'll
Thank
do
you.
Sky
Oh,
Sport
thank
with
you,
Gabby.
Diane.
I'm
Yes.
excited to
I
do that.
miss you, Coach
Thank you, Jack.
Pat.
Well, overall, I'm really impressed with, of course, what Jack did in Serbia. Quinito, those numbers are incredible. I'm so proud that the Filipino is shining in the basketball world, professional basketball world in Serbia. That's incredible. And I really love her attitude. I love her positivity. I love her faith. It's infectious, actually. I mean, what she's going through is not easy because, I mean, we talked to her, she was so excited to go to Serbia. She did so well in 7 games. And then, to have that injury that is putting her out for quite a bit, whether it's 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, 5 months, that's still a long time for an athlete. But yet she's staying so optimistic. Well, of course, the support team of, I mean, just having all those people around you in East West Private is really, really amazing. And as you can see, she's getting so much love and support. And um, I'm excited for her to come back, and we can all learn something from Jack Animam. And definitely, we're going to be watching her play, not just for her in her professional career, but also for the national team. So mabuhay ka, Jack Animam.
And Diane, she's only 23 years old. And that's amazing. She's got a whole life ahead of her. She's got many, many more years. As she said, after this surgery, after this rehab, she's going to come out stronger. Her goal isn't exactly the Southeast Asian Games now, because that may be a remote possibility. But for her to be able to play in the Asian Games, now that's something that we can look forward to, because, I never really researched. I thought we had somehow played women's basketball in the Asian Games long, long time ago. So it's a revelation to me, coming from Coach Pat, that we've never played women's basketball in the Asian Games. So this will be the first time. And if we can get all the players together, if all the stars are aligned, and Jack is able to play 100%, I think we'll be competitive. I think we'll have a good showing. I don't know if we can make a podium finish, because, in Asia, the women's basketball powerhouses are
So
here.
tough. So tough.
Taipei, China, and Korea. Those are all in the top, in the top tier. So, it's going to be a little tough, but Coach Pat is there, and I think, as you said, Jack's attitude is very infectious, and I think her teammates will pick it up from there. So, great episode, a very inspiring episode with Jack and Patty Scott and Coach Pat Aquino.
Well, thank you again for joining us. We want to also thank our main sponsor of PlayitRight TV, that's A6, for having the show. And don't forget to also check out PlayitRight.com for some high quality sports stuff, the best brands, A6, of course, Mueller, Molten, and many more. So that's PlayitRight.com. And we'll see you again next time on our next episode. This is Dyan Castillejo.
And this is Quinito, Henson.
And we are here to always play it right.